Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Aneta here, and today I'm going to show you how to display some fake random users on your website. We'll be using an API from randomuser.me and the fetch function in JavaScript. Let's get started. First, let me explain why we're using Random User Generator API. This API provides us with a convenient way to get simulated user data, including names, emails, and even pictures. This is particularly useful for testing, prototyping, or any other purposes like this tutorial. If you're ready, open up your favorite code editor and let's start by setting up our HTML structure. And here's the basic HTML structure we will be working with. As you can see, we have the head element and styling already applied. You can copy that from me, or if you just want to focus on fetching data, you don't have to worry about styling at all. And here's the body element. As you can see, it's quite straightforward. We have a div container where our user data will be dynamically inserted using JavaScript. And for JavaScript, we have this script tag. Okay, let's move on to this JavaScript part, which is the focus of today's tutorial. The fetch function is a powerful web API for making HTTP requests. It's part of the modern JavaScript window object, which means you can use it in any modern web browser. Let's start coding. I'll type out each line of code and explain what it does as we go. For fetch, we will need a URL that keeps our data. Let me copy that one. That's from randomuser.me API with the param results 5. That means that we will only fetch 5 users. The fetch function makes a request to this URL and returns a promise. Then, this promise resolves with a response object representing the data we asked for. We can use this response to extract the actual data in the format we need, typically JSON for web APIs. That's why we are using JSON method here. And then with the data that we got, we can do whatever we want to. For example, printing that out to the console. So using console.log data. Let's save it. Open up the browser. Open up DevTools. And this is our object with our results. 5 users. You can see what data we are getting from this. For example, we have the name, email, and the picture. It's important to know that fetch function is asynchronous, meaning it allows our code to continue running while we wait for the data to be fetched, which helps keep our web application responsive. So, for example, if we have a click event on a button, it will be still working even if the data is not ready yet. Alright, so let's continue coding. Let's remove this console log as we don't really need that. And let's create a const variable for HTML code. So what do we have here? We created this user's HTML that will represent each user one by one. We use our data results, which is the list of users. We are mapping through each user and creating user card for every user. And as the map function is returning a list, we need to use the join function to receive the plain HTML. And let's place our users inside our users container. In case of an error, let's catch the error. Let's save the file, open up the browser, and we have our users. To place our users inside of this div container, we need to get this element by document query selector and the class name, users container. And then for inner HTML, we place our plain HTML from this variable, and we are catching the error. If something doesn't work as expected, don't worry, debugging is an essential part of programming. Check the console for any errors and make sure you've entered the API URL correctly. So to wrap up, we've just used the random user generator API to fetch random user data and display it on our website. I encourage you to play around with the API, try fetching different types of data, and see how you can use them in your projects. Remember, practice is key to learning programming. Don't hesitate to break things, make mistakes, and then learn from them. That's how you will improve. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coding tutorials. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below, and see you in the next one.